I only now realize that it's been quite a while since I've ranked movies in a franchise. To fix that problem, I thought I should revisit the Shrek franchise by DreamWorks Animation. You may be wondering why this is a top 5 when there are only 4 Shrek movies. The answer is because in order to qualify, the movie has to be at least an hour long, be focused on a character in the franchise, and released in theaters, so no musicals, shorts, or TV specials here. Also, it's a popular kids movie franchise, meaning a spoiler alert has to and has been posted here. Grab a snack, fairy tale character or not, since I'm taking Ogre. Hey, I'm Owen, the fiction fanboy, and here's my top 5 Shrek movies. Shrek the Third. I didn't want to say this was the worst for the reason that almost everybody else thinks that, so why do I have the third Shrek at the lowest spot on the list? Well, there's the beginning with Shrek and Fiona having to fill in for the king and queen's duties, and the king dying. That meant either Shrek had to be king, or he could embark on a journey to have Arthur take the crown, and Shrek chose the latter. Look, I like Justin Timberlake, just not his performance here. Prince Charming wasn't my favorite foe, as he's more like Prince Harming with his play. The storytelling is a bit iffy, and there are many poop jokes, even for one about babies coming. And I felt like Donkey and Puss switching bodies was only made for comedy, which kind of fell flat. The big saving grace in mind is that it's not the worst DreamWorks animated movie, with most people giving that honor to Shark Tale. I'm not mad at this movie, morally disappointed. Shrek Forever After. Controversy warning, I actually like this movie, and don't see why it gets as much hate as Shrek the Third. Now I know Rumpelstiltskin was redesigned from the previous film, but I think it was for the greater good. I know I wouldn't take that Stiltskin seriously as a villain, especially when he asks for his amazing wigs. Shrek thought that his old life as someone to fear was better than his current life as a loved ogre. He had to learn to be careful with what he wishes for the hard way as he signed a contract made by Stiltskin. It's a tad more funnier and has more heartfelt messages about acceptance and thankfulness, whether you call this a sequel or a fan fiction. Granted, the movie could have been done without the shake your ogre thing sequence. I'm just here to say that the possibly final chapter is the most underappreciated chapter, although you may prefer to watch How to Train Your Dragon and or Megamind, which were also released in 2010. Puss in Boots. Antonio Banderas, with his performance as the fluent Spanish-speaking cat, became just as iconic as the rest of the main cast as their roles in the series, suggesting that he'd never not get the spotlight in an adventure of his own, or at least without any ogres, donkeys, royals, and the like. Puss ends up reuniting with Humpty Dumpty, the closest character he had to a brother, and is aided by Kitty Softpaws, as they seek to fulfill Humpty's lifelong dream. We get to see some fairy tale characters that haven't been seen in the main Shrek series, like Jack and Jill, as well as the goose with the golden eggs. At first, I didn't know where to place this movie, seeing that it wasn't anything excellent or bad. It's a solid thing to watch. You'll have some fun, and if you liked the film, I'll have you know that a sequel called Puss in Boots 2, 9 Lives and 40 Thieves is currently in production. Shrek. Here it is, the first animated movie that managed to win an Academy Award. It took DreamWorks some time to make a memorable computer animated movie, and we have the voice work of Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz that helped make these protagonists icons for the animation studio. Fairy tales can be full of surprises and laughs, unlike any you've seen. No, seriously. There's some humor for the adults, that you probably didn't notice the first time seeing this. Lord Farquaad has to be the greatest villain in the franchise, as he wants to marry a princess who has been living with a curse we don't completely know about until Shrek rescues her so he can have his swamp alone. Similar to Quest in future media, the main character can have second thoughts on what he wants. And I truly am a believer that this is one of the greatest non-Pixar CGI movies, which reminds me that the best Smash Mouth songs can be heard here. Despite how classic this movie is, there's only one Shrek that can be considered better than this one. Shrek II. Let me tell you this, I almost didn't put the sequel at the highest spot on the list, considering there were some, I repeat, some, things that made the first Shrek superior to this sequel, yet this is the best Shrek movie for a fair amount of purposes. Shrek and Fiona are celebrating their peaceful togetherness, which could have lasted forever if not for Donkey, and that the lovebirds had to see the king and queen in Far, Far Away, Fiona's parents. Shrek feels like he's not the husband the big kingdom has planned out, so Harold uses Puss in Boots, my favorite new character, who has the occurring trend of his cute face, to kill him. However, Puss decides to aid Shrek into getting a potion from Fairy Godmother for the happily ever after everyone may have wanted. You know that some scenes had songs for entertainment? Well, there's more of that if you look at the factory escape and the climax with Fairy Godmother singing I Need a Hero, while her plan for Fiona to marry Prince Harmain is almost successful. The only big downer that it'll be compared to other DreamWorks sequels at this time. Nevertheless, Shrek 2 is the Shrek movie I, and other fans, recommend the most. Want more fiction? Then please do what my friends say, comment below, and follow me on Instagram for thumbnail previews and teasers for upcoming YouTube videos. Fiction Fanboy has finished this video. Everyone keep fantasizing, and good night-o.